Hello, that's Russell Martin. I've just watched the Russell Martin interview with Rangers TV. There's quite a few things to take from that. I'm going to start at the end of the press conference, something that had the hairs on my arms going up. We all saw Sir Alex Ferguson at Ibrox this week, or sorry, the training ground, and he had asked to come up to talk to the team with Mr. Grieg, and I loved that Russell Martin called John Grieg Mr. Grieg. That just shows the respect he's got for the gentleman. Mr. Grieg, and Sir Alex Ferguson, because obviously the manager worked under Darren Ferguson, Fergie's son. And a few weeks ago, Darren Ferguson messaged said, "My dad would like to come up and see you and phone you as well." You're like, well, how do you answer that? When he says, "Of course," and he said that Mr. Grieg, Sir Alex Ferguson, were in and around the ground, met the players, and told them what it means to be at this club. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I've got my notes. That was absolutely brilliant. I thought that just shows you if Sir Alex Ferguson's coming up, he believes what's happening at Rangers now is a big deal. He wouldn't come here and put his name to this if he didn't believe in what was happening at Rangers. And he's been retired from Man U more or less the same amount of time that this disaster period's happened. I've not heard any other manager or anyone at the club say that Sir Alex Ferguson came in and that. That is huge. I'm sure if you're on the page a lot, you'll know, after anyone at Rangers, I hang off every word Sir Alex Ferguson says. He's a Rangers man through and through, no matter what anyone says. Obviously, history with Man United, I don't need to talk about that. But that was huge for me. I got a buzz off that. Even sitting here now, like 30 seconds after I finished watching the interview, I'm like, wow. There's not much he said that we didn't expect him to say, but what was it? He was on about the closed doors. Now, I've said I'm quite happy with no friendlies, only the one friendly. But he talked about how the games we've played, the closed doors game and the Bruges game, that it was good for getting the fitness up. And I was like, well, why didn't you play one more at Ibrox maybe? It's for the first time I've got, but again, they know more than us. But I was a bit disappointed that the lady at Rangers TV didn't ask him why he didn't play one more game at Ibrox in front of a crowd against a Newcastle or Everton or something like that, even Liverpool. I'm quite disappointed that she didn't ask that. It wouldn't even needed to be an Everton Newcastle. Maybe, I don't know, anyone Burnley or something like that. Well, we played Burnley in a closed door, obviously, but you know where I'm coming from. Gassama, he's slightly behind in the fitness, so he won't be starting, but I'm assuming he'll come on for the game. Same with Eggman and Big Dessers. He said that he might play one of them, he might play the two of them in games, so that's great. People say, well, we're selling him. They're Rangers players right now, so he's got to think like that. They're my players, so I've got to go with that. And if they get sold, we'll be bringing players in, and he'll drill into the players that come in. This is the Rangers way. This is how we're playing. What else? So we got Asgard. He's excited about him and what he can bring to the team. Everything he's basically said, I'll chuck that away now. Everything he said, you kind of expect him to say, and that's a good thing. Because if he didn't say, he'd be like, why didn't you say this? I say the only thing I'm a bit, and it's for the first, excuse me, it's I'm maybe making myself a bit of a troop here. Maybe I've got it wrong, but I'm like, maybe we could have played another friendly, but we didn't. We are where we are. He's looking forward to playing at Ibrox, obviously. But the big one from that was Fergie. Sir Alex Ferguson coming up with John Grieg going to the training ground and telling these lads what it's like to play for the Rangers. And and Sir Alex Ferguson is who he is. He's the greatest manager football's ever seen, arguably. I don't want to go into that argument. That gave me a lift. Fergie doesn't put his stamp on something unless he's sure of it. That's the biggest thing I take from this. Brilliant. Cheers.